You know.
There's a situation, and let me just bring this up. This is a real life. I won't comment on what, but my good friend Mr. Reyna, my co-anchor who couldn't be here today, he's in federal debriefings, and not him being accused.
No,
He's
of
the
course
lawyer.
not. He's a,
You know, thank goodness I need him. But he told me that he had a repeater in front of you, and he had, and without giving away confidence, he had told that person, be very careful how you respond to the judge because you have repeatedly screwed up on probation. You haven't gone to your probation officer. You haven't paid your fines. You haven't gone to drug counseling. You haven't gone for anger management. You haven't gone for spousal battering. You haven't done one thing. And you're facing 10 years in the Texas Department of Corrections. And I guess he had mouthed off to you or something. And yeah, Mr. Reyna came and told me, said that you had said very quietly, you're never going to do what I tell you to do, are you? And then the guy's smart response was, what? What'd you say? You know, and that was it. So anyway, be that as it may, Mr. Reyna and I say when Judge Longoria goes silent, you know, watch out. But I'm just saying, you that's the frustration you have. Exactly when you said, I can't yell at this guy. I can't go over there and put him over my knee if he's a 22-year-old and spank him. He's too big to spank. And then he's just, you know, a lot of people out there are saying they flaunt law and order, and they don't take the judge seriously. They're not taking the probation officer seriously, the DA seriously, or what they did seriously by not. But the flip side is some of these guys can't pay their fines. Now, does that necessarily put their feet in the fire just because they can't pay their fines and their monthly probation fees in your eyes?
No. Let me give you another hypothetically. Let's talk about a case. Let's say you have a young person before you, a woman that has not completed all of her programs. Why didn't you do your community service? I didn't have time. Do you work? No, I don't work. What do you do all day? Well, I stay home and kind of do what I need to do or want to do. Yet, the community service that was ordered is part of the rehabilitation and the punishment. Let's assume this person wanted off probation early. The answer is no. You haven't been rehabilitated. You have not complied. You are not complying with the orders of the court. Not just because I want to say that you are going to do what I say. It's what we think is just and fair to the community as far as to her.
Well, it's very true.
And let's assume this person just says, well, I'm not going to do it, so it doesn't matter. What are you going to do about it? Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to do it. And if you don't do it, then we'll know next time where you're going. And
So even
simple.
then, they get one chance. Then sometimes the real law and order people will say, gosh darn it, Judge Longoria let him off the hook again and just gave him some more probation. What are we accomplishing? They need to go to jail. And again, you've brought out the issue as taxpayers, and especially now with the economic crises we're going on, you have to also balance how much is the taxpayer going to have to pay for these
Correct.
guys?
How much is it costing our community?
When does it end?
And, you know, I can't, like I said, I can't send everybody to prison because we're flipping the bill for that. And I mean, you know, it's tough for everybody, every community, for the whole state. You know, everybody's going to have more serious problems, unfortunately, in the next year or so because of the economy. It's bad. I don't think it's hit in Nueces County yet or in Texas like it has in other parts of the country.
No, we've been fortunate
But
because I think the oil field and
unfortunately, it might be coming. I talked to an old client, it was yesterday, I saw at lunch, and he owns a company here in town, and I said, Dick, how's it going? He said, well, it could be going fantastic, but I can't get anybody to work. I said, what do you mean you can't get it? He said, I have to test them because of the type of work that he does. He says, they're all on drugs. I can't put them, you know, doing the work that my company does in the oil fields if they're on drugs. He said, I just can't get the manpower that I need. And it's true, Joe. I mean, these people, you know, you put them on probation, you tell them you need to go out and get a job. They come back, did you work? I got somebody who's going to hire me. Well, what's happened for the last year and a half? Well, I don't know.
Well, you know.
They don't want to help themselves. And, you know, if you're really interested, it's just like you, for instance. I'm sure that you had to borrow money to go to school. I know I did.
Oh boy, yes.
It only took me 10 years of paying back, you know, the monies that I borrowed to go to school, because my parents, you know, they were the finest people in the world, but they couldn't afford to send me. And they just didn't have that type of money. But yet, you know, I borrowed and, you know, borrowed and borrowed and borrowed, and, you know, here I am now, you know, 10 years later, I'm finished paying. And we're all in the same boat. Fortunately, my children didn't have to do that, because I kept saving and saving and saving and saving and saving. And well, I told my youngest one the other day that's finishing up medical school, I said, I don't know if I'm going to have enough money to pay for your last semester. And he said, well, Poppy, that's not fair. The boys got to go through law school. Yeah, but medical school. So, and I was only kidding with him, of course, you know. But we all have to borrow, and we go out and do it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. You get on probation, you have to go do certain things you don't want to do. If you do it, you're off. If you don't do it, you pay the penalty.
And many people, you know, I think along with that, growing up in that drug and alcohol culture, and maybe that also there's a culture of institutionalization where their parents serve time. You see that.
That's the problem.
We've got a couple of minutes left. I wish we had another hour. I mean, it's been a great hour. It just flew by, but I understand also that you have to balance everything you've done. We've kind of fleshed out a general understanding of everything you have to go through. Every district judge and every county court at law judge, every judge on the bench has to go through. But I know it's been a while since you've done your own closing argument. But to the people out there and the voters of Nueces County and beyond, everybody just watching in general to know how judges, what would you like to tell them, please?
Well, Joe, for instance, in the almost 8 years that I've been on the bench, I've handled over 12,000 cases. And these have been very tough, difficult cases that I've handled during that period of time. I've done an excellent job as far as I'm concerned. I've been fair across the board. Everybody gets an equal chance. And, you know, I just try to administer justice across the board. I've always said I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a politician, I am a judge, and that's what you want on your bench, and I ask the people to continue to support me so that I can continue to do a good job for this community.
Well, very well said, and right now, you know, we're in, it's voting time, and we've got our men and women around the world are fighting for that precious right for us to be able to vote for who we choose on the ballot, for whoever you vote for, as the judge said, Democrat, Republican, Independent, you know, judges, there's not a blue or a red judge up there. There's a flesh and blood judge. And just remember that whomever you vote for, just get out there and vote. That's the most important thing. It's another precious right, just like jury selection. Sometimes we don't have time to serve on a jury. Sometimes we don't have time to vote, but we make the time and we make the sacrifices. Your Honor, it has been a pleasure having you on.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate it.
And stay tuned. We're going to have more guests on during the election time. We're going to be playing a lot of different politicians, but also servants like the judge here, and also some lawyers on here for the next couple of weeks. It's just going to be busy for South Texas Crossfire. So this is Joe Flores signing off. Thank you, and God bless.